So, you're prepping for an AWS certification, and let's be honest, storage can feel like a massive, complicated topic. Well, don't worry. Today, we're going to speed through all the essentials with a quick tour of the AWS kitchen. Let's get cooking.
Here's what's on the menu for our tour. We're going to start at the main workstations in the EC2 kitchen. Then we'll check out the gigantic S3 refrigerator and all its different shelves. After that, we'll look at some specialty equipment, review our kitchen's insurance policy, and then wrap it all up with a simple recipe card to make sure this all sticks for your exam.
All right, first up is the EC2 kitchen. You know, this is the heart of the operation. It's where all the action happens. And every great chef needs a solid workstation. Here in the AWS kitchen, we've got a few different storage options, and each one has a very specific job. I want you to think of Elastic Block Store, or EBS, as your personal pizza oven. It's attached to just one EC2 instance, one chef. And the most important word here is persistent. That means when you turn the instance off, your pizza, your data, it's still there, safe and sound. You can also take backups, which we call snapshots, to spin up new ovens later.
Okay, but what if you've got a whole team of chefs who all need to grab the same ingredients at the exact same time? Well, that's where EFS, the Elastic File System, comes into play. It's kind of like a big conveyor belt that connects to many EC2 instances at once. And here's a huge exam tip for you. If you see a question that mentions shared file access for multiple instances, your brain should immediately scream EFS.
And last up in our kitchen, we have the Instance Store. This is your temporary prep table. It is ridiculously fast, perfect for chopping up data at lightning speed. But, and you really need to get this, if you shut down the kitchen by terminating that instance, everything on that prep table is gone. Poof, forever. It is temporary storage. So let's just nail down these key differences one more time. When it comes to access, EBS and the Instance Store serve a single instance. EFS, on the other hand, is for many. And for durability, EBS is persistent, it sticks around. The Instance Store is temporary, it's gone when the instance is. Getting this right is going to score you some serious points on the exam. All right, let's step out of the hot kitchen for a second and head over to our main pantry, the S3 data refrigerator. Now, this isn't your fridge at home. Oh no. This is a massive, practically infinite walk-in refrigerator that stores all of our ingredients, or objects, with just unbelievable durability. Now, you absolutely have to know these core S3 features. We're talking about its famous 11 nines of durability. You've got bucket policies to lock things down for security. You can turn on versioning to keep a history of every change to an object. And this one's huge for saving money. You can set up lifecycle policies to automatically move your data around.
So, inside this giant refrigerator, it really matters where you put your stuff. It's not just about throwing everything in there. Just like at home, you've got your main shelves for everyday items, a pantry for less common stuff, and that deep freezer in the garage. In S3, these are called storage classes, and they're all about balancing cost with how fast you need to get your data.
The main shelves, right at eye level, are for things you use all the time. S3 Standard is your go-to for that frequently accessed data. But what about data where you have no idea how often you'll need it? For that, there's intelligent tiering, which is amazing. It actually watches your access patterns and moves your data to the most cost-effective tier for you automatically. Okay, next up is the pantry. This is for the ingredients you don't need every day, but when you do need them, you need to grab them quick. That's S3 Standard Infrequent Access and One Zone IA. They cost less to store your data, but there's a tiny catch. You pay a small fee every time you retrieve it.
And for that stuff you need to keep for years, maybe for compliance reasons, we're heading to the deep freezer, S3 Glacier. And you've got options here too, from Glacier Instant Retrieval, which is like that top drawer of the freezer, all the way down to Glacier Deep Archive. That's for data you pretty much never expect to touch again, and it is the absolute cheapest storage you can get.
And this table just lays it all out crystal clear. See the trade-off? S3 Standard is for active data, and you get it back in milliseconds. Standard-IA is for infrequent data, but still, you get it in milliseconds. But then look at Glacier Deep Archive. It's for long-term archival, and retrieval can take hours. You're trading that instant speed for massive cost savings.
Okay, every kitchen has those weird, specialized gadgets for certain recipes, right? A pasta maker, a sous vide machine. Well, the AWS kitchen is no different. Let's look at some specialty tools and how we can connect back to your other kitchens. Amazon FSx is that specialty shelf. It's a whole family of fully managed file systems.
each designed for a specific need. The one you'll almost certainly see on the exam is FSX for Windows File Server. It's exactly what it sounds like, a native Windows file system running in the cloud.
So how do you get ingredients from your other kitchens, your on-premises data centers, into the AWS kitchen? Easy. You use the delivery scooter, AWS Storage Gateway. It's a brilliant hybrid service that creates a seamless bridge between your on-prem world and the vast storage options in AWS.
One quick but super important detour back to our EBS pizza oven. Please burn this into your brain. SSDs are for IOPS. Think lots of small, fast transactions, like a database. HDDs are for throughput. Think big, chunky data streams, like for big data analysis. SSD equals IOPS. HDD equals throughput. Got it? Good.
No professional kitchen would ever operate without a good insurance policy. So let's talk about the not-so-fun part. What happens when things go wrong? How do you protect your precious data and your applications?
Well, if the power goes out, you need a backup generator, right? That's exactly what Elastic Disaster Recovery is. It's all about minimizing downtime and data loss by helping you quickly recover your applications on AWS after something goes wrong. It ensures your pizza-making business can continue no matter what.
And what about protecting all your data across all your different services? Think of AWS Backup as your master recipe book. It is a single, central place to manage and, more importantly, automate backups for everything. You just set the rules and it handles the rest. It can even copy your backups to other regions for disaster recovery. It's a real game changer.
Whew, that was a whirlwind tour. I know we covered a lot, so let's boil it all down to a final simple recipe card. These are the absolute most important ingredients you need to have memorized before you walk into that exam room.
First up, performance. Say it with me. SSD is for iOS, lots of small, fast operations. HDD is for throughput, big sequential chunks of data. Next, your EC2 workstations. EBS is your persistent pizza oven. The data stays. Instant Store is your temporary prep table. The data disappears. And finally, data protection. S3 is your massive, incredibly durable refrigerator for objects. AWS Backup is your centralized, automated recipe book for protecting everything.
And I'll leave you with one final question to chew on. Your application's data has totally unpredictable access patterns. Which S3 storage class is the smart one? The one that does all the heavy lifting for you and automatically saves you money. Thanks for joining our kitchen tour today, and seriously, good luck on your exam. You've got this.